Hey man, it's Phil X, and you're watching Guitar Tales with Dave Cohen. And Guitar Tales, Guitar Tales. Like, what else do you need, right? Guitar. We're geeks, nerds, gear, inspirations, positive vibes. Look out.
We have such a great show tonight. I am off the charts excited about this one because I saw these guys and they are outstanding. But before we do, let's talk about our sponsors. The most fantastic rock and roll bakery, maybe the only rock and roll bakery in all of Asbury Park. Confections of a Rock Star, opened by a rock and roll drummer who is fantastic. Great treats, and my favorite part are not the mini cupcakes, but not the macaroons, but the pupcakes, because you feed them to your little pooch. Mine's barking right now in the backyard. He's barking at boats. And when you're in town, you have to get Little Andy's Burgers. They are out of control good. Scott and I were just talking about how unbelievable they are. Also in Asbury Park. Absolutely fantastic. They got cheesy fries with the works on them. Go to Asbury Park. Support your band, support your businesses, support Guitar Tales. And now, tonight's show, there's a little story, not a long story, but there's a little story behind it. My little asshole dog, I had to get him a grooming job down in Mystic Islands, New Jersey. And I kept passing this great place called the Lizzie Rose Music Room. And I've always wanted to go there. And I thought, you know what? Tonight I'll go. And I went on their website, read it wrong, and I thought there was a folk guitar player. I thought, all right, that's okay. And I sit next to some nice folks there, and they're like, no, no, no. You're getting some New Orleans music here. And I flipped out in a good way. And I watched these guys, our Soul Project NOLA rocked my socks off. They rocked the room. And we're going to do another show. We have it lined up with the Lizzie Rose Music Room, which is a wonderful place to see wonderful music. But let's get on our guest tonight, John Cristian Duque, if I'm pronouncing your last name correct.
Enough.
Was I close or did I get it right?
It was close. I mean, it's Duque, but I don't expect anybody to get the right thing. Don't worry, you did good.
I
The
heard a
Duke,
little bit. The Duke. I
Duque.
like the Duke.
Um,
Yeah, that is very cool. So you guys and Scott, wait before we get Scott in. Now this show, all the work is done by our co-host extraordinaire, Scott Guitarist Stengel. He is the co-host. He's the publicist. He's the editor. He blows my socks off as a guitar player because I'm not very good, but Scott's off the charts good. So Scott, why do you come in here? Two giggers. I'm just a faker.
Hello,
nice.
kids. I'm going to put
Yo,
John in the big square there.
There we
nice.
go.
Circle gets a square.
Yeah.
Good evening. You're coming to us from the New Orleans, right?
Yeah, uptown New Orleans, man, Claiborne Street, all the way up by the end of the city. And just so look, John is my legal name. My friends call me Christian,
All
so
right.
I hope
So
you all do the same.
I hope you
We
consider us
will.
friends, and so we'll call you Christian. How's that?
We
Yes,
sound?
sir.
will. So I got to say, I went in there from the very second you guys started. That room was rocking. And you did we'll talk about it, your cover of Blackbird. Holy
Oh
shit.
yeah.
Um,
That's one of my favorites, man. Always.
oh my god. And it catches you out of left field because you do a very an honest, faithful version in the beginning, and then you put some New Orleans swing at the end. And
Well, that's the whole point of
yeah,
that. I got a funny story about that song. You
let's
want to
hear
hear
it.
it?
Yeah.
So we had a residency for 15 years. We played every Thursday at Cafe and the Grill on Frenchman Street.
Oh, I
And we
love
were there
Frenchman
when
Street.
Frenchman Street started. That's a whole nother story. It was at a great time, wonderful time. And we were playing on this particular day. It was like a Tuesday for some reason, and we were about to close out. It was like midnight. Nobody was coming in. We're like, it's going to be one of those nights.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, about 30 people walked in,
Hmm.
and they weren't from New Orleans. You could tell by their clothes and by the way they were, like their manner, like it was all a motley crew, man, white, black, just whatever, everybody, just like we're like, who are these cats? So we're playing, we're doing our thing, and this guy comes up to the my sax player and says, I love your setup. Turns out that was the sax player from Paul McCartney on I forget the name of the tour. We're talking 2017, maybe
Okay.
16, around there. But it was his first tour in a long time, and they were opening in New Orleans that Thursday, and it was the road crew and the horn section and a bunch of the cats for the Paul McCartney tour.
Oh wow.
So the sax players connected, and we had a show the next night, which was a Wednesday at the Maple Leaf Uptown, around the corner from where I'm at.
Okay.
And we invited them to that show. Never expected them to show up. Well, we were playing our show, and it comes time. Someone said, "Play Blackbird." I'm like, "Yeah." So we start playing Blackbird, and that's when they all walked in. The same 30 people all came
Oh
in,
wow.
and I
Nice.
saw Kenji, the sax player, with his phone. He's like, and then I'm singing the
Wow.
song. I'm like, oh my God. And then we did the whole thing. It was not too bad. And then they gave us, we got done. We're talking to them. They gave us backstage passes to come to the opening night the next night
Very cool.
at the Smoothie King Center. So we end up going, long story short, and we got these great seats, and the concert is great. Everything's amazing. We got to meet everybody. And I didn't meet Paul.
Hmm.
Paul didn't come to the room with everybody else. Understandable. But then he gets up on stage and he says he gets up on stage and he goes, well, a lot of people do this song, but none of them do it right. So I'm going to do it for you the correct way. And he does Blackbird. And I'm like,
Wow.
they showed him the video. I know they showed him the video.
They
Man.
definitely did.
And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind at all. But I thought that was cool, man.
Very cool.
That I mean, the fact that that Paul McCartney saw your video, that's
Well, yeah. I mean, and even if you totally trashed it, I'm cool. That's
oh
all
yeah,
right.
it's Paul
That's cool.
McCartney.
This closer I ever got to the cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, that's terrible. What are you guys thinking?
So the funny thing, I know what I saw, right, which was great. I set up an Apple Music station for you guys, so I'm very familiar with
Oh,
whatever
cool,
you have that's on Apple. I've been listening to it and I love it. But
cool.
I don't know, besides a little bit of Wikipedia. So it's Soul Project NOLA. How did you guys start? Like, let's go back to the beginning of it.
I mean, that's. I'll try and make it quick, but
We
I
got
moved.
time.
I don't know if you guys. Thank you. That's cool. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys are aware. I grew up in New Jersey.
No.
I grew up in Pine Beach, New Jersey, right below Tom's River. The mean streets of Pine Beach, I like to call them, because it
Yeah.
was rough growing up there. And I spent a lot of years banging around Asbury Park. I used to work at the Saint. I was the door guy at the Saint from
Oh boy.
96 to my last day at the Saint was New Year's Eve, 1999. And that's when I packed my bags and we left New Year's Day. Well, we left New Year's Eve and drove to New Orleans, 2000, the New Year's Day.
Hmm.
So when I got here, everything that I thought I knew about music was quickly banished by the time I got here. And when I started hearing everybody, I got a job at Tipitina's. You all know Tips?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, I know you know.
I saw Aaron Neville there,
Uh-huh.
and it had nothing to do with the chemicals in my body or the alcohol I drank. I started crying when I
Dude,
heard his voice.
dude.
I mean, like tears.
Dude, you don't even got to tell me, bro. I'm right with you. Because,
Oh my
well,
god.
I was just looking for work. And
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in New Jersey, my bands were always Beatles meets Primus meets Tool was my jam, which was,
Yeah.
Okay.
it was crazy, right? But when I got down there, and I remember I was working a stupid waiter job. It was the only waiter job I've ever worked in my life. I was terrible at it. But the other waiters, the older black cats, they were having an argument about who was the best musicians in New Orleans. And the names just started dropping. They're like, oh, the Neville brothers, Aaron, Art. you know, Ivan is coming up, and you know, what about Gerald Tillman and Walter Washington, and you know, well, you can't forget Dr. John. Oh yeah, Dr. And they're just talking these names, and I got to tell you, growing up in Jersey, man, I in the 80s and 90s, never heard these names, never
Right.
heard the music,
Yeah, you wouldn't have been
never.
exposed to that
I
guy.
mean, I was aware of the Neville brothers. I was aware of Aaron Neville because he sang with Linda Ronstadt on
Yep,
a
yep,
wedding
yep.
song, right? And so I was aware of that, but had no idea. So I got fired from the waiter job, thankfully. And the only job I could pick up was at Tipitina's, and it happened to be Mardi Gras. And you
Oh,
know, it's hard to find cats to work on Mardi Gras, but I didn't know nothing about it. So I was like, you know, like, we need you, you know, all day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I was like, I'm in.
they're
So I
easy
worked.
crowds during Mardi Gras. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. But in that first week that I worked there, I saw my first show was George Porter Jr. and the Running Partners, and that was when he had the band. It was John Papagro on keyboards, uh, uh, George, of course. I'm trying to think. Well, on drums was the great Russell Batiste Jr., who had taken over for Zigaboo at that time, and Zigaboo, I mean, is the greatest, but he had already moved away, so Russell was playing, and Russell, man, this band just blew me away. It was so loud and so good. Like,
Mm.
I was cool enough that they gave me the security detail at the side of the stage, so I was backstage, like, you know, I got to let in who.
Very
I
cool.
didn't know who was who, but I could tell, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like, you know, when people walk up. But sitting on those purple turbo sound speakers, which they got rid of, you know, they had to, but those turbo sound speakers, I could have a conversation like this, and it was still super loud
Mm.
and punchy, and it was so funky. And George, you know, you guys know George Porter Jr., of course, meters and everything. Dude, my eyes just went bling, my ears went, and my brain went.
You saw the light.
Oh man! And then the next night, I saw Walter Washington for the first time, who became my boss later on. And then I saw the Meters play with Russell Batiste, you know, because Zigaboo wasn't there. But I saw the original Meters. I saw Dr. John came and played, and then I saw was it Aaron and Art put a band together and did a special show. And then of course Galactic played as well. Y'all aware of Galactic yet?
I do not know Galactic.
That's what I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
grew up there never knowing. Man, we'll get into that a little bit later. But that opened
Plus
my
the
ears
Saint
to,
the Saint always had original music, right? Pretty much.
yeah, always. That was the
So
key. That was because
you,
Scott didn't want to pay the BMI license.
yeah.
I don't blame him. No, but
Yeah.
he was always, no, it was always about trying to, you know, promote original music, which was fantastic, you know. That was a great, I love the Saint to this day. I wish he was still open, but I understand why he's not.
Yeah.
And there were so many great bands and musicians. I saw, and one of the greatest shows I ever saw in my life was Ozo Motley came from California and
Mm.
played at the Saint. And it was so packed out and it was so hot. We were passing out water from the bar, and it there was a lot of magic that happened in that little club, a tiny, tiny little club.
Last time I was at the Saint, I was there with the keyboard player from Bon Jovi, David Bryan's
I
daughter
love
was
him. I
doing
love that cat.
stand up. She was doing
That what?
stand up. His daughter was doing stand up, so we all went to support her.
Was she funny?
Yeah, she was great, and then
Okay.
she still is. And my wife went to the bathroom at the Saint, and she came back. And she was completely traumatized. It looked like the bathroom at CBGB's, only worse.
only only
She goes,
worse.
like, I'm not going to the bathroom anymore. I'm not even drinking anymore. We gotta get the hell out of here.
No, you're supposed to drink more. That's how
Just
you like.
wait
get
for her
rid
to
of
don't
finish her
notice
whatever
it
you
set, and
that
are.
then we'll say
It'll get
goodbye
rid
to
of it.
everybody. We'll get out of here.
I lived upstairs at the Saint for a winter, which
Wow.
was an interesting experience, man. Me and Steve, the sound guy, we had an apartment upstairs,
Hmm.
and Scott took money from us for that. That son of a.
I didn't know you were that local to us. I live just about 25 minutes south of Pine Beach. I'm in Stafford Township, Manahawkin.
Of course, man,
Yeah.
Hawking. Of course, man. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
all about it, man. Mean streets.
Oh, it's rough out here. It's
You
very
got to
rough
watch
out here.
out, bro. You got
I
to watch
know.
out.
Yeah. It's a rough
Yeah,
town.
it's a rough
Yeah.
town.
So you go down there. Tipatina is like, even your stories brought me back. Like I went in there. I was out of my mind anyway, but and I just heard that voice because you got the upper level and you got the lower level, and
Mhm.
it's just religion. It's religious
It
and it's
I
religion.
say I say my university and my church was Tipitina's because I heard it,
Oh,
I saw the light, it was like and that was Aaron singing actually,
oh
and
my
then
God.
the rest was history, bro. And once you hear it, you cannot go back.
I got
I hate to say
goosebumps
it.
right now. That was
Hmm.
25 years ago. I saw him there.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
easily 25
Well,
years
dude,
ago.
I've been here 25 years now. This is my 25th year, so
So I
Wow.
might have seen
around the
you.
same time. I might
Yeah.
have been up on. I might have been the one kicking you out of backstage, being like, "You don't got to pass, bro. You got to
No,
go."
I
The, la-
did.
the
My
last time I'm sorry, Dave. The last
God.
time I was in New Orleans was for the WWE Hall of Fame show, and my friend who we had on the show, Bully Ray Dudley, was getting inducted, and we flew in for that.
Oh, that's
And so
awesome, man.
I got to
That's huge.
walk around and hang around, and I was, like you said, dressed the part. I had like this snakeskin suit on with sunglasses on.
You can, I'm not going to say that that's what everybody wears down here, but I will tell you this: everybody wears whatever the hell they want to wear
Yes,
Yeah,
down
they
here,
do.
and I love
Yeah,
that down here. You do what you want to, man. Do what you want to,
it
as
is.
long as you don't hurt nobody else.
yeah,
You
Yep.
can do whatever the hell you want to do.
It
yeah.
is. It is the best town in the country. I'm sorry. It just
Man,
is.
I don't want to. I'm biased, but
Yeah.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
It is fantastic. My daughter starts at Tulane in 2019.
Oh,
I
dude, congratulations!
Oh
That's
yes. Well, they're
amazing.
both my kids graduated from there,
So,
and
all right. So I was going to ask you what your connection to Tulane was, and did
yeah.
you go
So
as well, or it's
now
just
I
them?
just spent all. I mean, I was going to New Orleans before my kids went there.
Yeah.
But then my daughter went. She graduated in 23. My son graduated in 24.
Oh
New
man,
Orleans is the kind of
congratulations.
town. So when we moved her in, I was not able to attend the parents' welcoming ceremony the next morning. I actually, I actually missed it because
Dude,
that's what
nobody shows up to any of that stuff. Let's be real,
no,
man. Nobody shows up, and everybody understands. It's okay.
no. My son's graduation, they just went straight through the night
Yep.
until the graduation. They didn't even sleep. They're just right around, right around.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that's New
Yeah,
Orleans, baby.
I was driving. It was a 10 o'clock ceremony, and it's maybe
What?
nine
Are
twenty.
they crazy?
Yeah,
10 o'clock. Oh,
and
come on.
I'm driving at about 9:20, and I called my daughter. I'm like, I can't.
There's
I,
no
I
way.
I just can't do it. And
Mm-mm.
she understood. But yeah, that's New
We
Orleans.
all understand.
Yeah,
We all.
we
They
do.
call it the Big Easy for a reason.
They do.
Hmm.
So when I found out, to come back to my opening story, in a very good way, I flipped out. I thought, all right, I'm not really like into folk music, but that'll be nice to see someone
Yeah,
at Lizzie Rose.
there's a few. There's a
Yeah,
few.
and it's great music. It's just not for me. And then I
Yeah.
found out there's some band I never heard of you guys, and I mean, from the minute you started till the minute you were done, it was, first of all, that place. I have a mental block. What's the place in New Orleans where Preservation Hall?
Yeah.
Lizzie Rose is sort of like a New Jersey version, sort of, kind of, right? Because
No,
they're not.
I can agree with that 100%. I can agree
Yeah,
with that 100% because it's not made to be a music place, and
right,
they turned it into such.
Yeah,
right. And there's no, you're not buying alcohol there. You're not. It's not a bar scene like other places. But what's so special about it, you get like 70 people in there,
Hmm.
and I know you know this. I learned it. Musicians love to play there. If, they might have a bigger gig at the Pony or in Atlantic City coming up, but they'll do a stop. The acoustics are outstanding,
They are.
and that when you go there, you're going to people who were there not to pick up, not to get drunk. I mean, they
No,
might be
they're there.
drunk.
Oh man,
Yeah,
and talk about, well, it is kind of weird because they're all sitting right in front of you. I mean, and they're
yeah,
sitting.
yeah,
When I say they don't allow it's not that they don't allow dancing. There's no room for dancing, and
right.
and that's
yeah,
weird for a band like ours. But they are right there. Like, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's a little uncomfortable, to
I
be
bet it
honest,
would be.
because,
Yeah.
well, a little bit. I remember I did a gig with my boss was Walter Washington, and we did a gig in Rhode Island one time. There's a jazz club. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to say it wrong, but
Yeah.
basically a Chinese restaurant,
Mm.
Okay.
and there's tables. When I say the tables are lined up to the stage, And we're playing all these huge stages with Walter all over the place. And then we
Yeah.
get to this place and they're eating Chinese food literally at my feet. And we're playing
Wow.
and we're loud, like that band, we didn't know how to be quiet. So,
You guys are
we're full,
raucous. Yeah.
man. Well, I learned it all from Walter 100%. And playing that reminds me of playing at that place because when you play at the Lizzie Rose, they are right there.
Yep.
And like, you don't need a microphone to be heard is
No.
basically what it comes down to, right?
No.
Yeah.
Now what were your bigger gigs when you were in town for Lizzie Rose? I know you were off to the Netherlands or something like that.
Norway.
Norway.
That's a whole nother story. But no. I mean, I come back to Jersey obviously because when Katrina hit, we were on tour that summer, and I had brought a band up to New Jersey from New Orleans, and we had done a couple of weeks, and half the band had gone home, and I stayed there to hang out with family with a couple other band members, and the storm hit, and we got stuck, and it was the people of New Jersey that made us survive. We brought up the rest of the band. Like, we raised money to bring money back. I mean, to buy train tickets for some cats, plane tickets for some cats, because they were stuck in New Orleans. And you
Right.
remember it was 9 months and you weren't allowed back in the city.
Right.
And we brought them all up, and we gained such a appreciation. I mean, I know Jersey, but all the cast that were with me, they didn't know. We found somebody who rented us a house. We found people who gave us I mean, we were playing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in Jersey, which that's not an easy thing. Original music, it's not a
Yeah.
easy thing to do and get paid. And they took care of us, and so there's always been a very a great connection with New Jersey with the Soul Project. So when we come up every summer and we do everything we can. We have our places, man. Like, I love to play with Pete. It used to be the Langosta, and now
Langosta
it's
Lounge. Yeah, they changed the name of it.
well, you all know Pete Mantis from back in the day. Pete's my man. I love Pete, and he's done so much for music on the Jersey Shore. Because you remember, if I was in Asbury in the '90s, it was Beirut back then.
Oh yeah.
It was nothing. There was no
Told this story
structure.
many times on the show. I used to leave
Oh.
the venue with a key between each finger.
Dude, what are you
And a
talking
pocket
about?
full
That
of money.
was regular operating procedure, bro. I mean, like, you couldn't walk around that joint. And I love what's happened, but Pete was always a guy, but we don't get to play with him as much because his budget is limited, and all of a sudden I have cats that are demanding money. But when we come up, we always play. We try to play Jamian's in Red Bank every time. That's a great club, great owner. We did the Asbury, the Springfield Music Series every Monday that they have in Asbury in the summer.
Yeah.
What a great venue. And the people come out for the music. It's beautiful.
It's still
So
growing out there. It's just crazy. They're getting a lot of
Man,
flooding though now, which is pretty bad. I don't know. They're
man,
blaming it on the building and all that. But
man,
who knows?
I'm sorry to tell you all this, but the flooding we've had here in New Orleans for the last 20 years, apparently the new jet stream has raised it up, and y'all are getting that. You in Vermont are getting all of what we
Wow.
used to get, and we're not getting it no more like that. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
But there's no global warming. Don't worry.
It took me 3 hours to get home the other night when we had a big rainstorm. There was the turnpike was a river, and I was just stuck there. It's usually a 1 hour trip, but so the weather has really been crazy lately.
That's what I'm talking about. It's different. The weather is different everywhere, actually. I was talking to my people in Norway today. They're in the middle of a heat wave they've never experienced. Never.
Well, the world's going to hell in a
Something's
handbasket on
happening.
every level.
Like the world's turning, something moving. But
It's
guess what?
different.
It's different. So we all better be
very
ready.
different.
Just being at the Martell's today this afternoon in Point Pleasant was hotter than hell.
Martell's.
And I
It was 106
hate playing
degrees.
outside.
It was 106 degrees when we were up there. 106.
Wow.
It was cooler in New Orleans than it was on the Jersey Shore.
That is crazy.
There's a problem with that.
Something's
That
not
is
right.
a problem.
Whatever.
Hottest gig you ever played outside? Can you think of any?
No, I've played hotter. Like, I mean, it's hot down here all the time, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so hot.
We were talking about the hottest gig I ever played and the coldest gig I ever played. 109 in Freehold in a bandbox made out of metal. And then I played MetLife Stadium. It was 34 degrees.
Yeah, how your fingers feel,
I was using fingerless gloves, man.
dude. That helps. That
Yeah,
really
yeah.
helps. That really helps. Because like I don't know, you're right. That's
Once we got jumping around, it was all right. But boy, was it cold in there.
oh man. I played a few gigs where my hands were blocks of ice and my playing showed it.
I bet. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
And the tight throat too from having cold air going down there.
Yep. What are you gonna do?
We were talking about. I mentioned to you in an email that, do you have any process about your keeping your throat safe and warming up and all that stuff?
Yeah, yeah. I get to the club and I have my first drink, and then I have 3 songs of warm up. In my set, I make sure my warm up is the first 3 songs of the set. I'm terrible. I have no good way to.
I'm terrible too. I don't really. I bought some kind of contraption I saw on the internet. Or girls blowing into a bubble. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Oh no, dude. My girl in Norway's the singer, and she told me she was blowing into a straw into a tub to
Yeah.
get ready for her gig, and I was like, okay. I mean, if that's what you want to do,
I used to
guess.
warm my voice up yelling at the band.
Dude, I got 3 kids. I'm warmed up. I got
Yeah,
that.
that's all
I
you
got that.
need.
I've already yelled. No, I told you I had a couple stories. Back in I don't know, 96 or so, my first out of state tour, my band and we went to Cleveland, and we did it was Cleveland has a Cleveland Rocks festival, and it was a nice festival back in the day. But we went and we had 4 or 5 gigs in a week. And
That's a lot. Yeah.
well, back in the day, well, now it's nothing, but back
Yeah.
in the day, I mean, we were 1 gig a month if we were lucky. We would do all the promotion for it and we build it up. No, this was 5 gigs in a row at this showcase they had in Cleveland, great city. And I used at that point I was smoking, and I was smoking almost 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
Yeah, that was
And I went and did that tour. I sang every night, and it was, like I told you, it was a different kind of band, but I sang and I lost my voice on the way home. And I
Wow.
thought my voice was gone. And man, the only thing I consider myself less of, because I play guitar, but I don't think I'm a guitar player, and even less am I a singer. But the thought of losing my voice and never getting it back, that I could actually sing, because it hurt. It hurt to even just talk.
Right.
I quit cigarettes as soon as I got back, cut them out like that. I tried quitting a couple times before, never stuck. That time it stuck because the stakes were you'll never sing again.
Yeah, well, it's your
in my
livelihood you're
mind.
protecting. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I got to take issue with you. You're a damn good guitar player.
Yeah.
And I noticed you don't do it. You play clean. I didn't hear you hiding behind any fuzz, compression. Like you would play with your tone, maybe.
I mean, I use it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. I use it when it doesn't color the clean sound, man.
Yeah. Everything you were doing. So you're doing stuff that requires picking and some accuracy. And I didn't hear you hiding behind anything.
I
So,
appreciate that.
Do you even have a pedal board?
I do have a pedal board. But I don't need it. But but it makes it easier to play. It does. That's an interesting conversation because even though I'm a purist, I do use pedals. I found this one great pedal. It's the green one.
Oh, I love
It's
the
called,
Wampler stuff.
man, he's so good. But when I kick it on, my tone and my nothing changes. Nothing changes. It's just that little bit of sustain that you want to hear when you play. I've never been a pedal guy. I've never been a pickup guy or an amp guy. But through the years, I've been introduced to one thing at a time where it's just, you can't argue. Yeah, that sounds good.
It's fascinating. I'm always fascinated.
The Bell by Wampler. The Bell.
Okay, the Bell.
That's the one. Yeah.
I'm always fascinated by and we had a guy that makes pedals on the show. He made the Karen pedal,
which was the best.
It's got a picture of Karen. It was like a real pedal.
I think I've heard of the Karen pedal.
It blew up on the internet. Anyway,
Scott grabbed him right away. Yeah.
I was like, this guy, if this is a real pedal, I want this guy on the show. Anyway, there's like a lot of magic in that little box. It's crazy if you ever open one up and like, what is all this shit? I no idea what's going on. Yet you plug it into an amp, and it's if you get the right pedal, it's magical, and if you get the wrong pedal, it can be quite unmagical, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Except for the pedals that you're trying to change your sound, and the pedals I like to use, you, you like nobody will know that you're using them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the pedals I like. I remember I used to have a Boss EQ pedal.
Mm-hmm.
I love that thing. I
Yeah.
love that thing. It had what, 9, 10 notch
Yeah.
filters.
Yeah.
And I would set that, like I knew what I wanted. I used to play a Strat through a Marshall, old JCM 800. And I would do this little thing, and I would kick that thing on or kick it off at whatever time I needed it because the style I was playing.
Right.
And my friends in the crowd, they were always like, "Dude, you hit that pedal, and we don't hear anything change.
Right.
Nothing changes." And I'm like, "Well, for you, nothing changes, but the
Yeah.
way I'm playing changes." So, but there was a Halloween party, and I swear to God, one of my friends showed up dressed as an EQ pedal. He had a bunch of aluminum foil sticking out. They
Yeah.
were all bent because I lost all the things. My equipment takes a beating.
Right.
They were all bent, and he walked around all night saying, "Kick me, I won't do anything."
Oh, I
'Cause that's
love
how they
that.
thought about that shit.
That's really good.
But I heard it. I know what it takes when you hit something and it makes it easier to play what you want to play.
Yeah.
That's what I use pedals for.
Right. I mean, if you had said to me you don't use pedals, I'd believe you. And
Yeah.
I listen. Everything you do, you might have different tones, but all your sounds are 90% clean. That I
Yeah.
heard anyway.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, what's wrong with a clean?
No,
Dude,
it's
a guitar
great.
was made to be, Les Paul. If you go back and ever just listen to any Les Paul stuff, that dude was playing and he was plugging into an amp and just making it work, man.
And that's it.
Yeah.
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 And I've been in a situation where I'm using someone else's pedal board,
Oof.
which is tough because
Ugh.
that guy knows what it does. I was opening for Super Trans Am at the Stone Pony, and I used James McGill's setup. James has been on the show before, and he was going, "You got to hit this pedal, and then if you want a little extra, you got to hit that one, and then sometimes it gives you trouble, so you got to kick it." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude? I don't have time for this lesson."
I'm not smart enough for that stuff.
Yeah.
My secret weapon is I'm dumb as a rock, and I just know when it sounds good, and that's what I go with. That's it.
Well, I have a pedal I got from Scott that's this big, and when he comes to my house, he has to set it up for me because I
He's
can't
got
do it.
You got I gave you a Roland ME80, right? Which has all the
Yeah.
ME80. I mean, that's a good fucking. That's got
But
everything
I'm not
in
smart
it.
enough.
Does
It's
This,
got everything in it, but yeah, you start digging in, you're like,
I don't know. I just we got this. One of our guests gave us this thing.
that's the new
This thing.
Silvertone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said it.
Yeah.
Scott and I this free. We had them on the show.
What do you
This
think?
thing sounds fun. It's
That's a very
outstanding.
subtle pedal.
Yeah. It
You
just
kick it
sounds
on,
better.
You kick it
Guys,
on, you
you
go,
were-
"That's not
you-
really doing anything."
I don't want to show my age, but I'm about to. You all remember the Sears catalog?
Mhm.
Oh hell yeah. We're
That's
older than
where
you,
that
I
amp-
bet.
They
Yeah.
sold that in Sears, bro. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that when I was a kid. I
Yeah.
remember seeing that, man. That's crazy.
It
That's
is crazy.
And now
Yeah.
it's sought after. Go figure.
Yeah.
I know. Well, even their old guitars, all those old Sears guitars.
Remember they had all the switches on them, the little
little-
not the night switches, the little
The-
what do you call switches?
Little
Yeah,
black-
toggles.
Little black slidey switch thing.
Yeah, exactly.
My first guitar I got from Galen at Bernadine's Music in Matawan. I got for $25 a 12-string Tisco 4 pickup with those black slidey things and a
'cause
floating
you have 4
bridge.
pickups, bro. 4 is better than 3.
Yeah, that's right. You
It's
might as
really
well have.
Sorry, it's really magical when you get a guitar and you learn how to exploit its tonal qualities. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's true.
how many guys buy a Strat? Everything goes to 10. 10, 10, 10. They don't touch they don't
Dude,
ever
dude.
touch the volume. They don't ever
Tone
touch
knob.
the tone.
Tone knob.
Yeah.
Tone
Yeah.
knob.
Believe it or not, if you play with those things, kids.
Dude, the volume at 20% and the tone knobs are the key to all my tone.
Yeah.
100%, whether I have pedals or not.
Yeah.
And I didn't learn that till I was after I moved here, years of playing, and now I'm
Yeah.
finally getting it. So it's okay, everybody. If you don't get it
Yeah.
yet, you'll get it sometime. But man,
Growing
it's
up on
true,
80s
man.
metal, there was no such thing as a tone knob.
Dude, that's all.
No.
Dude, that's all
Some
we
guitars
had.
didn't even have a tone knob on it.
That's
They
all
had
we
a
had.
volume
One
Yeah.
and one pickup, and that's it.
I had a Kramer with a bloop, one
Yeah.
volume. That's all you
You know,
had.
we had the great Henry Vaccaro on our show.
Henry.
Yeah, who owned Kramer.
Yeah.
or one of the owners. Yeah,
One of the owners,
I
yeah.
remember Asbury
Yeah.
in that building that they made the school or whatever. It was that
Yeah.
one building. I know that building.
right
Yeah.
there in Neptune. Yeah.
Yeah, then
Yep.
he started. I used to own one of the aluminum neck Kramers back in the day.
Mm.
That was a cool guitar,
Heavy.
very heavy.
Dave has a boat, so that would make a perfect anchor.
That's right.
Oh, I thought you meant heavy. The other
Oh,
way. All
yeah.
right, I get it.
No, wasn't that
No.
kind of heavy.
Yeah,
Actually, they did sound great, and the sustain was incredible. But boy, were they heavy.
Yeah, it was, the neck was 3 times the weight of the rest of the guitar. It was crazy. But
Yeah.
I was a kid when I was what, like 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
When I was in a band with Scott, I had that Kramer
Yeah.
back in the day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just
Yeah, I remember
resurrected
Kramer,
a
man.
couple of
Like
my Kramers.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, I only had that one, but I liked it. It was great.
I got
Yeah.
one behind me right now.
The 80s were a weird time. Let's just be honest. It was very
They were.
weird. It was
They were very weird.
Not a
Yep.
lot of tone. Not a lot of tone.
No.
just full
It's
definitely
funny.
not.
It's funny because I heard an interview with Jake E. Lee, who was one of my favorites back in the day. I loved.
Yeah,
Remember
just-
Badlands? He had
just-
a whole
Just
whole
playing in
side thing.
Birmingham with Ozzy. That was great. It was
Man,
good to see
I
him
saw
out
him
there
play.
again.
I watched it. It was okay. I dug it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember Jake E. Lee was like, he said this, that, the other thing, and then he said, and then Warren DeMartini, and I'm like, Warren DeMartini from Rat.
All right.
What a great guitar player.
Yep. Nice.
Except for his goddamn tone. It was
Right.
awful. Awful,
You didn't
man.
like his tone?
Oh no, man! There was this.
Honestly, it's funny you should say it. I never fell in love with the Charvel shit, even during the whole Kramer stuff and all that.
Yeah.
And even back in those days, Fender was trying to get in with the heavy metal Strat and all that, and trying to get in on that tone.
Ugh.
I never liked the tone of the Charvels. I didn't like the way the neck felt. Nothing.
I liked in the 80s. I liked the Ibanez's is what I
Yeah.
liked. Ibanez was doing it right in my opinion.
And a couple of Jacksons were nice
I had
too.
no money, so I never got any good guitars back
Yeah.
then.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Ibanez's were the right price point for me, and they worked.
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
time. What are you gonna do?
They made a really good acoustics back then too.
Yeah.
Man, acoustics are a weird animal to me. They
Our
are
buddy
such a
Charlie,
weird-
Scott and I have a friend Charlie. I was cutting the lawn of a chiropractor when I was 14 or 15. We found out he had a whole luthier studio behind his dental office, and he made classical guitars. And Dr. Restivo, there's a 0% chance he's still alive right now.
That really sounds dangerous, actually.
Yeah,
but
he was
cool.
like 80 years old back then. But he sold our buddy Charlie an Ibanez acoustic back in 78, 79. That was old.
That was before they got sued by Fender. They were making the best
Oh my God.
instruments. Yeah.
Charlie still has that, and I play it every time I see him.
Oh,
That
dude.
guitar is aged. It plays like an electric, but
Mhm.
it's a normal. It's a full size, but just the action's perfect. The wood has aged beautifully. It plays itself, and it's such a nice guitar.
Like that's
And
a hit or miss
yeah.
thing, though. When you get a cheap
Yeah.
acoustic, you don't know what the hell you're going to
You
get.
don't.
If you want a acoustic, you got to shell out some bucks.
I
And
still,
you got to keep, take care of it, keep it hydrated, and all that kind of stuff.
like I said, too much work for me, man. Like I don't have the brain power to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't have many acoustic guitars.
I don't either.
Unfortunately.
I got like 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what is your guitar of choice in the world of electric?
Man, that's a good question.
That's what they pay us $0 for.
I have many. Hold on. All right, let me show you. Hold on.
Here we go. Show and tell.
So, this was my first guitar. This is the Mexican Stratocaster. I bought this in 1994, 95, maybe.
It's
right
in nice
around there.
shape. Yeah.
Man, I love it. It's beautiful. It's got the nice color. Everything's happening with it. It's good. Can never play it live.
No.
I cannot understand how to make this guitar cut through properly with a band. Alone, it sounds great, but I can never do that, right? So I went from this. My ex-wife bought this for me, so it's a mixed bag.
Look.
But this thing is this thing I did amazing years and recordings. This guitar, this neck.
And it doesn't feed back like crazy. I know the F-fold guitar is.
Oh,
really
not at all.
trouble.
Well, it's a half semi-hollow.
Oh,
but
okay.
no, I never had no problem with feedback at all. The problem with this was it's too bassy, it's too boomy.
Right.
Okay.
So I ended up, who taught me how to play this guitar correctly. He set it up for me too. Was Matt O'Ree. You all know Matt, right?
Matt's been on the
He's
show.
done our show. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool, man. Well,
Yeah.
I love Matt,
Yeah.
and Matt came. He's so polite and so nice. Never says nothing about you sound good or you don't sound good. But he got up on my guitar one time and he played and he listened to how I had it set and he immediately went to the bridge pickup here
Yeah.
and just wailed. And I'm like, I never used the bridge pickup.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, so all of a sudden I realized that my sound is too boomy because of this guitar. And so only using the bridge is where the only time I play this anymore. I barely use this.
Hmm.
And I did put some of the pearly gates here because I played an Epiphone with pearly gates,
Right.
the humbuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big difference, man. Like, what a great pickup that is. That's Billy Gibbons. But so I did this for a while, right? But then I had to move on
I love this.
before
I
I
do.
bring out.
Yeah. I love talking gear,
Oh,
man.
P90s. Here we go. David's.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Well, unfortunately, these are the P100s.
Okay.
And the P100s compared to the P90s I've played, these do not hold up. And I'm a little upset about it. And I don't have the money yet to redo them. But I'm definitely going to change this out. This is Walter Washington gave me this guitar. This is the 175
Mm-hmm.
Gibson. Just an awesome guitar. The
That's
neck,
a beautiful guitar.
dude. When I'm playing up here, I've never had so much attack and sustain in this area on a guitar in my life. Like I could live up here. Is how good it
Right.
sounds. Even with these pickups, I'm not trying to trash them, but I can tell they don't do what I need them to do for everything else. But this guitar, Walter was given this actually by Gibson after Katrina. The Edge from U2 came
Yeah.
and presented it to him. It was a whole
Wow.
thing. It
Oh,
was
man.
a
So that
cool.
guitar's got some history.
This thing is. I love this guitar, and I did a tour with it where I tried to make it work. It didn't do everything I needed because the guitar apparently that I had no idea I needed was this one. My new case. Hold on.
See, I grabbed this to show off my P90s.
Oh, you P90. I don't have a guitar with P90s, believe it or not.
I have two, and look at that. Those are the famous Bo pots that he ate.
What is that guitar?
So this is a bootlegger. We had Chuck Wilson on, who I'm so bad at this. I think I'm dyslexic. This is a bootlegger. I bought
Okay.
this on Facebook Marketplace, and then it's a great guitar. And Scott and I became friends with the owner, who's Chuck Wilson. He's done a couple of shows with us.
Okay.
And
I love the pick guard. Look at that thing.
oh, this is a great
Kind
guitar.
of weird, yeah.
So cool.
While we were taping, who was our guest? That it was Dave Gellis was on from Blood, Sweat, and Tears. My
Nice.
dog, this was sitting on the floor. My dog, who's barking right now,
Mhm.
he ate the pots. He
Had a
took
little-
them off the
I was gonna
guitar.
say what's all them knobs doing?
Yeah,
Had a
he's
little
barking at me
snack.
now, and it became part of the show because I hear he was behaving for some reason, and I pick up the guitar, and the pots are gone, and I'm assuming he shot them out because I never found them.
Dave extracted it from the Poe and tried to put it back on the
I just
guitar.
stuck my
but-
finger up there.
I
and
mean,
pulled
look,
them out.
my now ex-wife, our dog ate her engagement ring, and we got that thing back.
Oh,
So
boy.
shit happens.
Hey, man. Put on them
Pun
gloves.
intended.
But the P90s, they're another animal.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
another animal, 100%. But they have a quality that if you're playing the right kind of style, man, you can't beat them. You cannot beat them.
We'll plug Phil X makes a P90, doesn't he, Dave? Like a PX90 he came
Yeah.
up with. Has a little more bite, a little more output.
Interesting. Well, that's
Yeah.
always the slam. They don't have enough bite.
Yeah.
But so I was at my friend's house.
Ooh.
He had this guitar buried away in a case. Somebody had left it in his house, and he had no idea what he had. He was like, "I'm going to learn to play guitar one day," and I'm like, "No, you're not." I said, let me hang on to this. It had electrical problems, but I played it on the neck right away. As soon as I played it, I was like, okay. But the difference between this guitar and all the others, I play in very dense bands. There's a lot of notes all the time.
Yeah.
And I've been unfortunately realizing that, music today is very sparse. You know, like they leave a lot of room for your singers
Yeah.
to do their thing. You know, singers are the money. You know, and we come from such a jazz ethic here where it's like there's a language going on, there's so many things going on. Like to me it's a machine, it's an engine, it's like a like just a finely tuned engine that, you know, when you hit that gas it sounds so good.
Yeah.
That's what music is to me. I want to hear like a million things going on at once. Not everybody's into that, I get it, but this guitar cut through the bass, the keyboards, the horns, the drums, and a B3 organ. I mean, like there's not a lot of B3s in New Jersey, and
No.
I'm starting to see a couple here and there, but down here everybody has a B3, and that is a sound that it is an incredible sound. But you cannot have all those sounds together at the same time
Right.
if you're trying to make music that people can understand. This telly, every pickup I redid the electronics. I got the 5 switch.
Oh,
I
okay.
ordered it from
Okay.
some cat in North Carolina makes them. I put it in, same pickup, same neck. It's actually a Korean Squire.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I got left at the house. Nobody knew. But I did some research. The NAFTA treaty, it was the first year of the NAFTA treaty when this guitar was made.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like getting into politics and music, which we shouldn't, but that they were trying their best to do the best job they could because there was no tariffs back and forth.
Right.
And these guitars for about 3 years were so well made that they stopped production. They had to bump it up and charge more for them. But these guitars they're, I mean, I'm not saying they're sought after, but they're very well made.
Let me tell you,
And
I have a Squire telly. It's a Rolling Rock telly, beat the beer. That's the only reason I bought it, because it looked cool.
nice.
Once I got it home plugged in, I'm like, this thing is fantastic. This is the most telliest telly that I've ever tellied.
The most telly, the most
I
telly.
like that, Scott.
It's crazy. I'm playing Albert Collins. I'm like, this is fantastic. And the neck is comfortable. And
Dude,
it's
it's
a
so-
Squire, but it said like 40th anniversary on the neck plate. And I'm like,
Whatever.
I play it all the time. It's really great.
You know, my boss Walter, I haven't gotten into him yet, but my boss told me from day one, he goes, it don't matter what kind of guitar you have.
Yeah.
You know, like you if you should, yeah, dude, it's all in your fingers. It's all in what you're trying to play, and if you can't make it sound good, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Right.
That you don't ever blame a guitar or an amp or you know, pedals. You know, it's your fault if you don't make it sound good.
As long as
I
you
love
take
that.
care of it. I just the Sambora Stratocaster I play, made in Mexico. I play that thing all the time.
Dude, that's my strat.
Stays in tune. Sounds
Dude.
great. It's got a PAF DiMarzio in the humbucker position, and I was having like a grounding issue. So when I went and changed strings the other day, I never took the backplate off, honestly, because it's a Floyd. So there's no reason to take the backplate.
Why would you?
Unless you're changing string gauges. And the wire was just tucked under a piece of metal.
That's all. Oh, dude.
So I
Dude,
had
there's
a little
all these
solder,
little-
and voila, it was fixed.
Perfect, man. It's always something stupid, man. It's always something stupid. But
There's not much to a guitar, honestly, right? If the pickups
Mm.
are decent and the wiring is good and the pots are good, you're ready to
You're
roll.
done.
That's it. And
Yeah.
if the neck feels good,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. And the neck is where it's at, in my opinion.
We
man,
did
always.
an entire show about cheap guitars. So I'm like, I'm
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm a cheap guitar connoisseur. I've never paid more than a few $100 for anything I own.
Me too, because I'm a working musician
Yeah.
as well as I'm sure you are and everything.
I don't want
too.
anything
And
get
we broke.
stolen, and you know, I saw the guy I saw at a gig today was playing like a Tom Anderson Strat. What do those cost? Like $4,500, $4,500?
Never in my life if I pay more than
That's not going to be in my collection.
Nope.
did
Unless the Gibson is gifted to me.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
why
then
that's
you'll
so
take
special.
it. Yeah.
I'll
We
take
did
that,
it.
buddy.
We did a show, and Scott was showing a Ivy guitars, IYV.
Mhm.
I bought a Rickenbacker Ivy for like $160.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Crazy.
It's not really a Rick, but
The most expensive guitar I have is a 79 Strat because I got it when I was a kid. That's the only reason I have it. I
It
could
was
never
cheap
buy
when
it
you
now.
got it.
yeah.
And the Sambora Strats are going for like $1,200, $1,100. The made in Mexico ones, and I bought that thing for like, I don't know, $350 years
I got
ago.
mine. I got mine for $352.
Nobody wanted it.
95. I got it. Yeah, they're like, oh, it's a Mexican. I ain't gonna get no. I'm like, I barely have I don't even have $350, but I'll pay it for that. And that was my guitar for years.
And I got
man,
a
for
Squire
years.
made in Japan when Squire was their top notch, and not
Yep.
shit brand of theirs. And
It was NAFTA, crazy, right?
that's a very
I remember.
stratty strat, man.
It's a stratty strat and a telly
Telly,
telly. I like that.
you know what
I
I'm
like that.
saying, though, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you plug it
Awesome.
in clean and go like this, like, holy shit, that's gold.
Yeah,
Gold.
dude.
And the strings are old, and it sounded great.
No, it don't matter. It matters if you know how to play on it. And then, all the pedals that like we were talking pedals before, it's interesting. Like the pedals I use are not to change any sound.
Yeah.
It's to correct any problems that I'm
Right.
having.
Yeah.
Right?
Right,
Like
right.
that's another way to look at it. Like I'm using this pedal to correct maybe this guitar's pickups aren't matched with the amp or whatever.
Right.
That's kind of that's a good point, man. You
I
don't
was
have to use
I
pedals
was
to sound different, just
I
to
was
maybe correct.
when I do my covers on videos and stuff, I just have this like Black Star amp that plugs directly into my phone. But it's got everything I need on it to dial up what I need it to do. And
Yeah.
it doesn't overcolor the sound of the guitar. I'm getting Jeff
Yeah.
Beck tones, I'm getting Judas Priest tones, I'm getting
Dude, Jeff
whatever.
Beck's the greatest. I just
Yeah.
bought the Yamaha the box little
Yeah.
amp, like
Yeah.
4 watts or whatever with the
Right.
speaker. Man, I love that thing. And the modeling, you can give or take, the modeling, but again, like you said, if you tune it in, you got to tune it in and understand what you're playing with. You got to adjust your playing style. If you only have one way to play, you're never going to
Yeah,
sound
that
good
Dave
on
gets started
it.
on an ME80. You only got 700 pedals in there to tweak.
Well, that's what
You know what I
happens,
like?
bro.
It's always a present because I kid you not. If I play, I just randomly start hitting the pedals and doing this, and then every so often I get this amazing sound that comes out, and then I just leave it like that for a while because
Yeah, but
I
then
don't know how
3
to
days
do it.
later you hit that again and it's not
It's
the
all
same
different.
sound.
It's all
Oh
different.
my God, I
I
hate
think
that
the
all
shit.
last time I
different.
was there, you had it in manual mode. I'm like, this sounds like shit. What am I doing wrong? I'm like, well,
I don't
you
even know what manual mode means.
just use the presets. Don't even.
Use the presets.
I don't know
Use
how.
the presets.
You know what I think? Inspired by you guys. I'm going to bring this fucker upstairs, and this is what I'm going to use. This is simple. It's analog.
Yeah, but don't turn everything to
If you
10.
hear a
No.
difference, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
It should
that's
just
true.
become easier to
More of
play.
me.
It's
You know what it
more
is?
of you. Like
It should be.
if you want exactly, dude.
I,
If it's gonna change your sound, you're doing the wrong thing,
you know
bro.
what I need? I need a Dave box, so I could play more Dave.
That you need an engineer for that, I think.
Or I just need to get better.
Oh, that too. I guess. Hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So now,
Who's got time for that?
yeah, I don't. So let me come back to Soul Project, right? So what do you guys have coming up?
They got a new record vinyl coming out. He sent me the picture
Yeah,
today. We're gonna
man.
drop that in post production, as they say.
Cool. It's actually it's over 2 tours we did in Norway. I've never been to Europe before, and this wonderful lady came to New Orleans and saw us, and long story short, she found the band and she loved the band and she's a music lover.
Hmm.
And she for years was trying to get us to come to Norway and it never came together. The pandemic came, it's always something, right? But she finally got it together, and about, I think 4 years ago, like 21, 22, right after the pandemic, we went over for the first time and we did some shows, and it was amazing. I mean, I don't know, have you guys been to Europe at all?
Europe and not Norway.
Yeah,
But
Europe, Norway,
playing
no.
over there at all, or no?
What's that?
Playing, like doing shows?
Oh no, I don't gig. He gigs. I don't gig. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Now I'm on hiatus. I don't even gig.
you should go to Norway, bro. But but what I'm trying to say though is that man, do they love music?
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
And you're here in America, man. You gotta drag people sometimes to have a good time. You know what I mean? You
Right,
gotta drag
right.
them out there. And over there, it's just a little bit different because they don't get what we do as much, and it was just great. So over that first tour, and then we went back the next year. Over those 2 tours, we recorded a bunch of shows, and then we took some songs from them, and put them on this album, Live from Norway. And it's a nice album. I think it sounds great. I love it. The energy is fantastic.
That's awesome.
And we released it about, I think, a year and a half ago or something like that. But over here, music business is completely different. You don't
Oh
make any
yeah.
money. Nobody's selling CDs. You ain't buying, there's no money in recording music, whatever. That's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But they surprised us. A record company over there decided to make a vinyl of it.
Hmm.
So it's going to be, I don't know if you remember back in the 80s, it's always so cool to be like, this, you can only get this release. It's a Norwegian release and you
Right.
have to,
Right. Yeah.
it costs like $10 more, but you're going to hear the band, in
Yeah.
Norway. And so we kind of have this company doing it, and we're going to come back from this next trip we're going with a bunch of record, like vinyl that
That's
that we're
awesome.
going to sell to everybody.
That's
So
Well,
really
it's
that's
great.
gonna be no.
kind of cool.
That's very cool. And
Now,
when he,
can you get the link from your website, or there'll be another
Oh
website?
yeah, oh yeah. It's on Spotify and it's on it's on
Okay,
all the platforms already. But the vinyl is going to be a completely new release,
I got
and
you.
they're making it work. So and it'll be on the website as well, of course.
Yeah. So the website is soulprojectnola.com, and I've got a
Yep.
little QR code there for the smart kids out there who
Nice.
want to scan that, and they'll bring you right there. And that has connections to all your social medias
Yeah.
and
Oh, it's got
your
everything. Yeah.
Spotify and your YouTube and God only knows whatever else we're
Yeah.
doing out there to make ourselves known to the world.
So tiring. So tiring.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what were you saying? He does the editing, the
Yeah.
video, the
That's
things that we
You
have
know,
to do everything
my thing is,
ourselves
I
these
just show
days.
up because when you got this going on, you don't need to do anything else.
Dave's the lawyer. He created the LLC for the show. That's about it.
Hey, we know where the money's at.
I'm making mugs and T-shirts, all kinds of crap.
Scott did this thing. Look at this.
I
Look
got
how
our
cool
little
that.
Look at that.
Mike
See?
Yeah.
logo. Yeah. In
Professional,
Yes.
man. That looks like WWE. I like it.
case we're
Yeah.
on
Oh, that
the
is cool. Yeah.
man on the street. That was the whole
Yeah,
idea.
That's
exactly.
right. That's right. Now
Guys, we wrapped up almost an hour here
we
already.
did, man. This is great.
That's
Now,
quick.
before we let you go, two things. We're going to ask you to stay on after we log off. Would you do like a quick bumper for us? And
Yeah, tell me what to say.
you'll say whatever you want. That's what we want. But we'll figure it out together. And when can we see you next? When are you going to be up in the Northeast again?
I hate to say it, but probably not till next summer. We
Okay.
have, we're always, we've been playing a lot. Not even in New Orleans. Like we've been flying out to some weird places. I got to leave for tomorrow. I got to be in California for 4 days, and there's like these all these weird little things. But we always do a summer tour in New Jersey every summer because
All
it's
right. So,
summer at the shore. I mean, like you got
yeah,
to do it. You know what
you
I'm
got it.
saying?
Well, I
So,
think, but do you play regularly in New Orleans, though, even if it's not all the time?
well, I mean, that's a loaded question. It's not always Soul Project, but I'm playing at least 2, 3 times a week somewhere. Like there's so much music here, and a lot
Yeah.
of it is just like showing up with friends and making good music. And I play with a girl named Sarah B. Y'all should check her out. SarahB.com is SERABEE
Okay.
.com. She's fantastic. There's always gigs where I mean, it's all pickup gigs and it's beautiful. Like we all just
Yeah.
have a lot of fun. So I'm always playing, but Soul Project, we've kind of been waiting for the right opportunities at this point.
That's
Right.
awesome.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. Well, I am so glad I saw you and we got to connect like this. It was
That's
Yeah,
how
dude, me too. This
what
is
a small
fantastic.
world knowing Matt O'Ree and growing up
yeah.
in Jersey
Dude,
and talking about the
Erin,
Saint.
Erin is one of she used to come sing with Soul Project when she was 16 years old.
Was that
She showed up
Wow.
at a club. We got her ass into some club in the Seaside Heights. And they're like, she's too young. I'm like, but she's with the band.
Yeah.
So they let her in on a New Year's Eve show on the boardwalk in Seaside. And
A tremendous
yeah,
talent. Those guys are
I'd be
great.
She sang on this show. So she and Matt performed a song she wrote that half the talk about crying.
Mm.
We used to do this live before COVID. Everyone
Mhm.
was crying in the studio when she did it. That
She's a
voice of
super
hers.
talent, man. I just
Oh
wrote
my
a song
God.
with her this last trip. I drove to her new house and sat with her at half an afternoon. Song is written and done, man. She's a true professional. I love Erin.
Oh, and that voice is insane.
Yeah,
Absolutely
insane.
insane.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, fellas, Christian, hang around after we're going to continue to run tape after we play the outro, and you could do a quick bumper for us, and I'll edit that into a thing. I'll
Yes, sir.
drop some music behind it, kind of like we did with Phil X. He goes, what do you want me to say? Well, just say whatever you want. Sometimes you guys go, hey, my name is Joe Schmo, and you're watching Guitar Tales, and that's it. That's
Yep.
fine.
All right,
But
all
but
right.
it's cool. We can run the bumper before some of our shows.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if we have somebody famous on, that's who's that guy? I want to find out more about
Find out
Yeah.
more.
All right.
I'm down.
All right, kids.
Excellent.
We're gonna end the show with I don't know. I really love Ron Bumblefoot's outro.
Well, let's do that one then. All right.
So this is what I'm talking about. Here's a great example.
Hello, I am Ron Bumblefoot Thole, and you're watching Guitar Tales.